Hey, we're back with episode 2 of Revenue Bites, and I'm not gonna lie, this is about to be a fun episode. Many people are probably not gonna like it as much, but hey,
We're here
we're
to
here to
have
have
fun. We're
fun.
here to give raw, uncut thoughts. Because I wish. By the way, if you're on audio, me and Isaiah have our hoodies on because it's hoodie season now for the topics
And it
that
feels
we're about to talk
comfortable.
about.
Yeah.
We're very comfortable right now. So, but definitely, if LinkedIn had like a trending page like Twitter, this is definitely going up there. Like that's how serious like this conversation is about to be. We're gonna try to keep it in the 30 minutes.
Yeah,
There's gonna be a whole lot of ranting, a whole lot of controversial topics that we're talking about. Yeah. So Isaiah, how do we even start this? The title of this is gonna be called what?
I don't even know. Probably names nobody understands.
Nobody understands. Made up roles within B2B.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be made. Yeah, let's just title it like made up roles. That's definitely
Made
what
up
it has
roles.
to be. And so when me and Isaiah was talking, for some context, we believe we just believe that some roles are made up, right? Like some names are just made up, as in like there are things that one role should be doing and they're not doing, so they create a separate role for it. And for some reason, it caught on, and now multiple companies are doing it. And in full transparency, me and Isaiah don't like it. So let's just talk about it. let's talk about it.
So let me give you a little bit of background about where this stemmed from, because this stemmed from a post last week that I made. And I was just being honest because I thought I was looking out for my B2B SaaS marketers and just the people in the company overall. I thought I was doing a good job of just keeping it real, keeping it raw. Now, I'm partly joking, partly dead serious about everything we're about to say here. And we're probably saying what everybody has an opinion or at least they're thinking.
Things for sure.
But I made a post.
I'll say one of these things for sure you're probably going to agree with, or at least think about like, I'm not saying everything, but at least one of them. And again, that's what Revenue Bites is about. That's what everyone is about. We're about obviously being real and authentic, and again having a great conversation. Let's actually talk about it. Go ahead. What kind of post was this?
I was just being honest. So I said I don't believe that it is necessary to hire a full-time head of RevOps if you're a Series A or Series B company, because I just don't think your pipeline of data is that complicated to where you need to hire an entire role to take that on. And oh man,
so let's start. Okay, so RevOps leader. That's the first one.
That's number one. Oh, that's number one. That's number one on my hit list.
And again, we're not saying fire your RevOps leader. If you are a RevOps leader, I'm sorry, but you just kind of just have to bite the bullet on this one. Because we're not coming for your job. We want you to get paid, feed your family, of course. But it's the title. It's really the title that we don't like. And yeah, so let's get it. So first of all, I want to pose a question, Isaiah. Obviously, we do RevOps, right, as a service, right? We obviously offer RevOps as a service, but this is what we're gonna do. Okay, as somebody that knows nothing about RevOps, I'm gonna search up. I'm doing this right now. What's the definition of RevOps? What is it? Right, and this is literally what it says. So you can go. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I just googled. I googled RevOps definition. This is exactly what it says. It says RevOps is revenue operations, something that a company would already be doing. Right, revenue operations is the alignment of sales, marketing, and customer success operations across the full customer lifecycle to drive growth through operational efficiency and keep all teams accountable to revenue.
That sounds so sexy,
amazing.
doesn't it?
I really love the way it sounds, and I love it because I believe, I may be wrong, but I believe that we don't even have RevOps on our website. For this reason that we're about to talk about, and if we do have it, it's only because people understand RevOps completely differently. I feel like as time has went on, especially within these past 18 months, the term RevOps has blown up as if it's this new thing that companies are doing now that they weren't doing before. Well,
It's the NFTs
yes,
of
it's
B2B
the
SaaS.
NFTs of B2B SaaS. Again, so I apologize to my RevOps leaders, but let's talk about it. What is RevOps? Again, the alignment. It's the alignment of CS, marketing, and sales. Go on.
If you want to align marketing, sales, and CS, bring them into a room and let them talk to each other until they figure it out.
That's RevOps.
That's how you get stuff aligned. You don't come and bring another person in to help be a therapist for your go-to-market team. That's, if I'm being honest, that's what I think a RevOps person is. It's the group therapist for the go-to-market team. They're just there to facilitate the conversation. When if marketing got beef with sales, they can walk across the office and say, "Hey, I got brief with you. Like, how we gonna figure this out?" Same thing with marketing and CS or CS and sales. It's the same thing. To me, it's a lot of bad communication between the go-to-market teams. Like, you can uncover so many insights just from talking to each other. Again, we said it in episode 1. Like, marketing, your best friend should be the head of sales and the head of CS. Like, y'all are in this together. Like, y'all are the go-to-market engine to make this work.
You're all RevOps leaders. You should all be RevOps leaders. There shouldn't be one designated person that said, "Hey, I'm the RevOps leader, and I'm going to link all 3 of you together so we can talk about how to drive more revenue to the company," right? And look, I got something better, right? So what I just did was I Googled. I looked up a RevOps leader and RevOps manager job description. This is what it says. Identify opportunities, and mind you, these are all from this year, from 2023, from July. These were posted in July. I'm not going to say from what company. Identify opportunities to drive revenue. These are the responsibilities. Identify opportunities to drive revenue, such as go-to-market strategies, tactics to streamline the customer lifecycle, and potential sales process improvement. Now, to me, again, these are our opinions. You can hate us later. Tactics to streamline the customer lifecycle and potential sales process improvements. Now, to me, that sounds like that comes from CS, customer lifecycle. Marketing is in there as well. And then it says sales process. That's sales. That's sales. Now, if you need one designated person to do all of this, actually, for RevOps leaders, I'm helping you guys out. Because it shouldn't be one person doing all this. This should be everybody. And if it's one person that has to grab people to bring them together, when the majority of you work in office at these bigger companies, you work in office, just go, like I said, go to sales, go to CS, go to marketing, talk about it. Invite somebody to,
If me and you have a problem, I'm not inviting somebody else to come meditate the problem.
That's exactly
like, no one needs to mediate it.
That's exactly what we should do. If we have a client and the client has a problem with us, you know what they should do? They should hire somebody to tell the problem to, so that they can come tell us, so they could be the mediator between us and them. That's how silly it sounds to have a RevOps leader. RevOps is all 3 of those components into one. You need a leader to be the middleman, to be on top. And that goes into the next one as far as VP of go-to-market. What is that?
I don't know what that means. I mean, you got to Google that one. I still don't understand to this day what the VP of go-to-market is.
Again, to me, it sounds like the CEO. Sounds like you're the CEO. You should be on the go-to-market. You know what I'm saying? That, like, you should be the one that you should be the head of go-to-market. That should be you, the CEO.
Ask Sangwin Vizier from Terminus, when he talks about who should be owning go-to-market, it should be the CEO. He should be owning the go-to-market and facilitating to the engine, which is marketing, CS, and sales.
And
It's that simple.
again, if you're
Like,
watching
we don't have to
video,
come up with these
you can
fancy.
look at me and Isaiah's face and look at the frustration, because it's mind boggling to me that these are job titles. These are actual job. RevOps leader. Again, let's go back to the job description that we have pulled up. Another one of the responsibilities: manage dashboards and build revenue forecasts so teams can easily understand business health and meet goals.
That sounds like marketing ops and sales ops.
My God. Another one: partner with leadership to strategize, operationalize, and analyze the impact of business initiatives. Huh?
Bro, y'all can't talk to each other. I'm so confused. I literally am so confused about this role, and I'm not discrediting anybody who's doing a great job at RevOps. Again, I think for a Series A and a Series B company, it's unnecessary. I think it's a premature hire when you don't have that complex of systems just yet. That's what I think. That's the experience that I've had. I just don't think so. When you get to Series C or IPO, if you get to these much bigger companies with much more complicated systems, by all means, go get you somebody doing RevOps. It's a different story. It's more complex.
Even as RevOps leaders, you cannot argue, because if it's me, if I'm going for a RevOps leader role, I would be amazed. Like, you guys need me here? Like, these people aren't doing what they're supposed to do? Like, I'm not saying companies don't need it, but you don't need it. Like, it should not be a thing. RevOps leaders should know this. RevOps leaders, you guys know, if everybody does their job properly, you're not needed. You wouldn't have a job because everybody's doing everything perfectly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you're not needed. But companies aren't doing it. And so instead of holding people accountable, they're like, okay, well, let's just hire somebody that can control RevOps, and we're going to call them a RevOps leader.
It's the same thing when founders hire a VP of sales too early. You hired a VP of sales when you're pre-seed and you have no revenue. Bruh, get up out there and sell your product. You don't got time to be paying somebody a six-figure salary when you don't have.
How many founders have came to us and they have a VP of sales? Because what's the reason that they always give? Oh, I'm not good at sales.
I can't sell. I'm not good at sales.
I don't like sales.
I can't sell. Oh, sales?
Yeah, like, you're scared of sales. Guess what? Get good at sales. Like, you know, like, it's kind of just that simple. And because a VP of sales knows that if you're coming into a pre-revenue company, guess what? You're probably not needed, right? You can't even use your entire skill set.
Bro, you're probably not getting commission like that. You ain't got no customers.
And as a founder, you can expect somebody to be a good VP of sales for your company, right? And sell something you can't even sell. Talk about being a hypocrite. Oh my God. I'm bored when I think a whole lot of founders are going to hear this, and they're going to be like, oh my God, like they're talking about me. I hope that my board doesn't see this. You want to hire a VP of sales because you don't like sales, or you're not good at sales.
I'm tired of the narrative of pacifying just B2B executives and leaders. It's just getting a bit tiring, and I think it goes back to the sentiment that marketers were spending very wildly because they were cushioned by an excess amount of funding. The same thing goes. Everybody gets lazy. If you're in excess with resources, you're gonna get lazy. There's gonna be certain things that you feel like you don't have to do anymore, and RevOps is one of them. But I think a great example of the opposite of that is, and everybody adores her because she's great at what she does, but it's Alice Day Corsi, the CMO at Cognism. Literally in her book, she named the first 3 hires that she did, or RevOps was not on that list. She has a RevOps person now, but look at where they are. This is what I'm saying. It is a premature hire. Like, you're wasting an entire salary on a RevOps person. I know it sounds sexy. I know your competitors have a RevOps leader, but can you really analyze it and say you need one? Or can you sit down with your marketing?
The head of sales, the head of marketing, the head of CS. They just have a different title. They just have a different title. It's kind of, sometimes it's just that simple, right? Because before you hire a RevOps leader or any of these roles that we're talking about too early, even a VP of sales. Before you hire a VP of sales, I have a challenge for you all. And if you are a VP of sales or you're a rev ops leader at these earlier stage companies, if you came in too early, if you did. Obviously, you wouldn't say it because you obviously want to get paid, right? I mean, I know I wouldn't. But I would go to these people as a rev ops leader or as a VP of sales, and it's like, hey, well, do better. Like, how about we just try to do, this one thing which is better. Like everything we're doing. How about we just try to do it better before we hire anybody else? And I guarantee you guys would save a lot of money on salary, a lot of money if you just do things better. Go to your CMO and say, hey CMO, can we just do things better? Like go to whoever the sales. Can we just do sales better? If you're doing founder-led sales, hey founder, can we just do sales better? Can we do CS better? Can we just do website better? Let's do everything better.
I'm sorry, this example just blew into my head, but I literally picture the RevOps leader. It's like the go-to-market team. It's like it's a block of wood with a square in it and a circle hole in it, and you got the circle peg, and they keep trying to stuff it in the square. And the RevOps leader's like, you can just try the other hole.
Like this, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like that.
Yo,
that's how I see it. That's how I visualize.
Yeah,
it,
like seriously, and again, like to be like we know this is a controversial take, and again, we're saying it jokingly, but also in the same way as being serious. And again, these RevOps leaders know what it is. And sometimes you have to be transparent when you're coming into a company after you've been hired as a RevOps leader already, and say, hey, like you guys just should do things better. That's like sometimes that's really all that is needed. And that's not just for early stage companies. That's for later stage as well. Like just because you're Series C or you're Series E or you IPO, guess what? Well, we're IPO. You know what? Now that we've IPO, let's do things better. Like let's see what we can do better now. That we was doing before, but let's just do it a little bit better. And sometimes when you do things a little bit better, you'll see a big impact.
For sure. I'm gonna give RevOps a break and the go-to-market leaders a break. I'm partially joking, partially serious. Take it with a grain of salt. If you got offended, good. But moving on to the next one, Shalik has a real problem with these guys, but the demand gen leader.
Yeah. Oh my God. I hope somebody that is a demand gen leader hearing this. And again, it's not your fault, right? It's not your fault. We didn't tell your company to put out the job description for demand gen. But let's talk about, again, when you say what is RevOps, what is demand gen? Like, what's the definition of demand? It's just generating demand, and then everybody gonna say, "Oh, educate your audience."
That's just good business.
This is like again, like the last 18 months. I feel like this is a term that came up out of nowhere, and it kind of just caught on. Demand gen, and it's like, because Isaiah, I know you remember when we first heard about it. We heard the term demand gen. We're like, demand gen. We thought it was a whole new level of marketing, and it's like, oh, educate your audience, create demand. Well, what were you guys doing before? Like, were you not doing it? Were you not educating your audience? Was you not creating, like, to me, it's crazy. And you have a VP of demand gen or a demand gen specialist, and it's like, what is it? And again, we've spoken to these people. Like, we have friends that are demand gen specialists, VP of demand gen, VP of RevOps. Like, we have friends, and the next one is going to be insane. But we have friends that are in these roles, and we speak to them about it, like, well, what do you do? Oh, well, I do demand gen. Are you the only one that does it? Like, does nobody else in the company do it? Like, you have to be titled demand gen like, that's something that the company as a whole should do. And like Isaiah, like when we were talking earlier about it, like, you have a demand gen specialist. Do you have like a lead gen specialist? You have a lead gen specialist? Like, no, because you don't. And if so, I would love to see it. I want to see what kind of I want to read that job description as well. But like, head of lead gen. Are you? And the head of demand gen is probably like, they're gonna take it because they know what demand gen is. But it's like, does nobody else in the company know what demand gen is? Like, am I?
Bro, you doing paid social? Is that what you're doing? Are you just doing paid social with a with a glorified title on it? It's okay. I know
It's
it sounds
insane
better.
to me. And that's like having a paid media specialist, and then we're gonna hire an audience building specialist. All I need to do is come in here and build this audience because our paid media person is not good at it. Your paid media person should be good at building an audience the same way he should be good at demand gen. Like it's kind of just that simple. Now,
Fire
if
'em.
you're talking about content wise, guess what? Everybody in your marketing department should know how to create content. If not, then whatever your SOPs are like, probably bad. They're probably bad SOPs. You know, you probably hired wrong, or you spoken to some consultant that is telling you that you need a demand gen leader, a demand gen specialist, and it's like, okay, well, what are they actually doing? And it's like, again, these roles are made up. Where it's like, all you need to do is tell your current people in marketing, do better at demand gen, which is literally just good marketing. It's good business. You should want to educate your customer. Like, to me, it's insane to me that's actually a title. It's a waste. It's a waste of a person. If you are a demand gen specialist, I feel bad for you because you're probably being overworked. You're probably doing things that 5 other people in the company should be doing at the same time. But you have the title demand gen specialist. So guess what? You have to be the one that has to go to the meetings and tell people, well, how are we with demand gen? Are we creating more demand? Are we penetrating the market like we should? Are we creating the right content? I really feel bad. I really feel.
Now, don't get it twisted. We're gonna keep using the word demand gen since y'all love it so much. We're gonna keep so don't call us hypocrites when we keep using demand gen. I just want to put that out as a disclaimer. Y'all love the title, y'all love the term, so we're gonna keep using it.
For sure. Because we just recently started using it within the past 2 years because it's like it became popular. Like we found out we're like, this is a thing. Like this is just so
like bro, we've been doing this.
We've been doing this already. Like and at that point I thought we were pioneers of demand gen. It's like, oh, like did we create good business? Like did we create like, because I remember before that was a selling point for us when we're getting into these meetings, people are booking calls and stuff, and they're like, well, what's your process? I mean, so there's people that don't know about what you do, about your category, and some people just aren't in the market ready to buy it, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to buy. So we're gonna just educate them until they're ready to buy. Oh my God, yeah.
They thought we invented fire.
Like we just invented fire, and then when we come to look, I believe it was through like CXL, and they're like demand gen. We're like,
yeah,
oh my God,
yes.
Demand gen. That's a nice term.
We were calling it build your next customer.
Yeah, honestly, that's what we were calling it. I wish I pulled up. We said build your next customer. Same thing with RevOps. We're like, well, the first thing we do is talk to sales and figure out like who your ICP is. We figure out what they want. What are they looking for? What are customers saying when they get on the phone? We were already looking into HubSpot. We're kind of listening into calls. Like I'm gonna say how we were introduced to RevOps. Seriously, this is exactly how it went. Isaiah, stop me when I start lying. We're doing we're bringing in leads for a company. We're not doing like lead gen. Same thing like demand gen. People are coming in looking demos, or they're having intent signals, leaving information behind, of course. And there was, Isaiah, I know you remember when it's like there's people that are coming in and it's like, well, they're not sales is not calling them. Or like they're like sending messages saying, hey, like can I speak to somebody? And then us as an agency, we're like, hey, like you have people that want to speak to you. And then what do? We called them. We called this lead, and he's like, oh my God, I've been waiting for somebody to like call me. And then from there, we're like, okay, like sales, come here. Sales, come here. CS, come here. Let's talk about it. That was our introduction to RevOps. Like that was literally our introduction to RevOps. And then demand gen, again, we're educating. We're just doing good business. It's insane.
I'm sorry, the RevOps thing was the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. You literally are paying us to bring people to your company that want to talk to you and buy your product. We bring them, but you don't call them.
For like a good year. And if you are an agency owner or a consultant, you know this. For a good year, RevOps was a selling point. For some companies, it's still a selling point. Like RevOps was a selling, like, hey, like, oh, so can you come in and can you align sales and marketing and CS? Yeah. I mean, just schedule a call every Thursday and we can talk about it.
I can do it in 2 seconds. You want to watch it? I'm going to do it live. This is how you align marketing and sales. Marketing, are you bringing enough leads in? Yes. Sales, are you calling them? No. Call them. It's that simple.
It's literally just as like just talk.
What are we overcomplicating it for at this early of a stage of a company, bro? You're Series A and B. Like, you don't got that much overhead and weight on you that you can't go and talk to your fellow go-to-market. Like, you have, if you're going to be good at what you do in your role and you're going to play your part in the go-to-market team, you have to communicate. You have to ask the tough questions. You have to have the difficult conversations. Like, if you're a salesperson and you know you're lacking somewhere and marketing calls you out, don't get upset about it. Don't try and turn around and try and find where they're doing wrong. Address what you did wrong. Own up to it.
Bro, you're bringing crappy leads. Bring me better leads.
Okay, cool. Can you give me a list of the best customers? Go to CS and ask who are our best customers. Go confirm with sales and go target them.
Jeez, man, it's insane to me. What's the next one? What's the next role?
Dark social evangelist. You want me to? I can start. Because I know a thing or two about evangelists. My daddy's a preacher. I mean, that's the only evangelist I know. That's the only one I know. I mean, I don't know what this dark social evangelist is.
Again, that's just making things up. You're making up names and you're wasting people. Like you're wasting manpower for somebody to one person to focus on something that everybody should be focused on. And I'm going to bring up this next one, the CRO. Isaiah, you know we have CRO friends. Kevin, I'm sorry. Mark Bird is a great person. Okay, he can give you a better explanation of a CRO than I can. But I'm going to give you my breakdown of it. Again, not the person, not the actual activities.
Because our CRO friends are great at what they do. I'll be honest with you, they're great.
They're very much
building
needed.
Great companies.
I would state that. Like I do want to state that, but let's be honest. CRO, and I'm not talking about a website. CRO, a chief revenue officer.
Okay.
Chief revenue officer. Now, if you have a company and you need one person specifically over revenue as a whole, that's probably a problem. Like, revenue is everything. It's everybody. Everybody's focused on revenue. And again, it ties into RevOps. Is a CRO just a RevOps leader? Like, are you just tying everything together to make sure that we're making we're doing revenue? Because everything should be focused around revenue. Now, again, as a disclaimer, I do understand some companies need somebody there as a point of contact for leadership roles. You don't want 10 people going into a meeting talking about revenue, right? That I understand. But let's be honest, a lot of companies that want a CRO or have a CRO don't need a CRO, or it's really just some other position disguised with a different title. Usually it's the head of sales or like the head of marketing, which is like, oh, well, we're going to switch to doing revenue focused. You know, so we're going to do revenue focused activities. What were you doing before? Were the activities not focused on revenue? Or did y'all just wake up and was like, you know what? Oh my God, 2023, we're cutting budgets. So that means we need more revenue. You needed more revenue last year and the year before that. Just because you hit your goal, that does not mean, that you don't need more revenue. Everybody wants more revenue. It's kind of just that simple. And again, we're not saying that they're not needed, but manpower, you're wasting, right? You're wasting manpower by giving somebody a title saying, well, and you expect one person to focus on 30 different things that everybody in the company should be on, right? So for instance, I'm gonna give you an example. Let's talk about RevOps again. If you have a RevOps leader, guess what? The person in your head of marketing and your head of sales, your head of CS, they're not focused on RevOps because, oh, we have a RevOps leader now. He can focus on that. I'm just gonna focus on sales. He can focus on RevOps. Even though it's like, hey, sales, just go talk to marketing. Give them a report on the leads that came in. Marketing, go talk to sales, ask them about how the leads was. Go talk to CS, get data as far as who are your best customers. And I love CRO. We work with CROs, but let's be honest now.
Yeah, I'm talking about the CRO, the one CRO who will be on the podcast in like the next 2 to 3 episodes and will be at a couple of our events. I'm talking about one of the best heads of sales I've ever seen in my life.
He'll tell you.
Seriously.
He will tell you. He will tell you. Like, seriously. Yeah. Now, is he needed? Of course he's needed. We're not talking about the ones that are needed. We're talking about the companies that think that they need it. They hire somebody. And it's, again, we're not talking about the person in the role. We're talking about just the role in general. These made-up roles.
The name of it, yes. We're overcomplicating it.
Revenue officer.
Everybody should be a chief revenue officer.
Everybody should. That's like that. It's very much everybody. Everybody should act as a chief revenue officer. Everybody.
That's the lifeblood of the company.
Everybody's focus should be revenue.
That's the lifeblood of the company. If everybody's not focused on driving revenue, what are you in business for? You should be a nonprofit or a charity.
Everybody should be focused on revenue. Now, how you get the revenue, right? Now, your role
is different. That's
your
where the
role,
functions come
your
in.
function of how you help, right, and how you do your part of bringing in revenue may be different.
It's different. Some are focused on retaining it. Some are focused on making it. Some are focused on
everybody's focused on revenue.
But everybody's focused on revenue. There's not one position that should be revenue.
And pretty much, I'm just going to summarize, right? If there are roles that everybody should be doing, and you have to take that role and create and put it into one person, into one job description, newsflash for you, you're doing things wrong. You're doing things wrong. It's kind of just that simple. Like, it's really just, like, again, different functions I understand, but if these are focuses, right? These are focuses that that the company should focus on. Demand gen, creating demand for your category, for your company. That's everybody. Everybody plays some role in creating demand. It's not just one person's role. It's crazy.
You gave a great example in the last podcast when you were saying it jokingly, but it was a great example about the janitor at Microsoft. A lot of people in the company think that the person creating demand has to be the one who understands the product so well and all the specifics. When a lot of times people buy from, that's why they say human to human. That's what B2B is because people want to buy from other humans. If you're not directly tied into the product, if you're someone in HR, you're someone in admin, or you're someone in ops, and you're not directly tied to the product value, you can talk about the company values. Because I can't tell you the amount of people that have came to us and said that we would love to work with you because our values align with yours. They had nothing. They knew nothing about what we did in our product, but because we can display the integrity and the value of our company without having to talk about our product or service, people love it. You don't have to just focus on one product aspect of it. Like you're limiting the dimensions and the overall like holistic aspect of what your company entails. You're not just a product, you're a company. You have more than just a product. You have company values, you have morals, you have integrity, you have characteristics. Like display that.
That is so true. And I'm gonna tell you, which a lot of people that are listening are gonna I'm hoping that you understand, especially if you are a founder. One big reason for that, right, is, and if you've done this, or if you're at a company that has done this, what a lot of people do when they have a company is, if I don't like sales, whatever I don't like, whatever I need, right, I'm going to just put out a job description for that. Okay, if there's 3 things in sales I don't need, I'm going to put out a job description. It's going to have those 3 things I don't like, that I don't want to do, that I just need right now. And I'm gonna drop a little nugget in here, right? A little nugget. Before you go and put a job description going to look for somebody to fill a role, don't fill the role just based on what you need, right? Go if you need a VP of sales or you need a head of sales to do 3 things and like everything else you're good with, don't do that. Go look at other job descriptions and see, okay, well, in today's market, what is a VP of sales? What do they have to do? What are they being asked to be done at other companies, right? Go look at other job descriptions for a head of marketing, head of CS, like all these jobs, and you'll figure out that when you hire people, you're not going to just hire people for what you need, okay? Because when you do that and they say, okay, well, hey, I just need you to make sales. Okay, well, I can do that. And then when 3 years go by, well, now I need you to take care of 3 other people, teach them, train them, come to a weekly meeting with a report. And then now, well, that wasn't in my job description. So now you're either forced to hire somebody else or you're forced to give them a promotion that they probably don't really deserve in the first place, right? And so again, when you hire, don't just hire for what you need directly. Go look at other job descriptions. Go because the market is always changing, right? So certain people. So for instance, right now, a CMO is being asked to do a lot more than what they were asked to do 3 years ago, right? But if you just hire a CMO because I just need this right here, then guess what? In 2-3 years, your CMO, you're gonna have to get a new CMO now. Because you didn't hire them to do X, Y, and Z. You hired them to do what you needed at the time. But now that the company has grown, and the company has grown, but their responsibilities hasn't. So now guess what? Now you gotta hire somebody else. Waste of money. You can go ahead, Isaiah.
Bars. That was bars right there. I'm not gonna lie. But look, please listen. Breathe. Relax. Unclench your butt cheeks. It's not that serious, I promise you. We're partially joking, but very serious. It's the titles that we have a problem with. To each his own. Keep rocking out, doing what you're doing. You're doing great. We're not here to discourage anybody. We're just making light of a few
yes.
a few
And if you are a RevOps leader, a CRO, a demand gen specialist,
a dark social evangelist.
Like, again, that's not your fault. You took the role that was in front of you. And you probably seen the role and was like, oh, well, they need somebody to, I guess I'll do it, right? And you're most likely very good at your job. But just because you're very good at what you do, that does not mean that what you're doing should not be required of 5 other people. Just because you're the RevOps leader, that doesn't mean that other people in the company are responsible for RevOps. That's just not true. That's why I said these are made up roles. These are made up roles because because the current go-to-market team did not want to focus on go-to-market, or they don't want to focus on RevOps. So it's like, oh, hey, we need another hire. We need a VP of go-to-market. Or, hey, we need a RevOps leader because I don't want to go talk to sales. I don't want to go talk to CS. I don't want to go talk to marketing. I don't want to align. It's crazy to me.
I blame the CEO. That's my last take. I blame the CEO. If the go-to-market team isn't talking to each other, it's your fault. Make them talk. Make them talk. Go sit them in the room. You go be the therapist and you mediate.
And I'm not talking about a meeting to where they align when they report. These meetings should happen before they report. Keep that in mind. These meetings should happen before they report, especially to you. Everybody should meet. I feel like I'm coaching CEOs right now. They should meet before they meet with you. Put that in the schedule. Put that to where maybe days before, 3, 4, 5 days, however long you think is right, whether it's the day before, they meet before they meet with you. They should not get aligned on the meeting to where they are reporting to you. Shouldn't happen. It's insane to me.
I had to write. That was a nugget. I had to write that down. That was good. But we're done sneak dissing on y'all title. We done. Look, laugh it off. Get back to doing what you're doing. Wish everybody the best, absolute best. Hope you're staying in your role. I know layoffs are rough.
Don't send me hate mail.
But we truly wish.
I said, don't send me hate mail. And no, By the way,
But
CEOs,
yeah,
and I'm not telling you to fire your any of these roles. I'm not saying to fire them. Please don't.
please don't do that.
Please don't.
Don't do that. Don't misconstrue what we're saying. We're just joking, a little jokey joke,
Just
but
food.
partly
That's
serious.
all.
Yeah, it's just food for thought. We're just, stirring up the pot a bit. But now, RevOps leaders, we love y'all. CROs, Dark Evangelist leaders, Dimension leaders, go-to-market leaders, we love y'all. We rock with y'all. Y'all know that. We just fooling around, making a little jokey joke, a little knee pull. But yeah, we wish everybody the best. This is episode 2 of Revenue Bites. Again, we told you we gonna bring a lot of personality
we're off
into
to a
this.
great start, and I hope and if there's any B2B podcast that will be similar, let me know. I would love to go watch.
Yeah, I would love to go watch it. Let us know. But yeah, again, like we said in the first podcast, we did it. We serving it to y'all. Go tell us where we can get better. We want to get better. That's don't hold back. Tell us, give us the real, the raw, just like we give the real and raw on the podcast. We want to hear it. We want to make better content for you guys. But with that being said, I'm Isaiah Studevant with my amazing co-host and co-founder Shalik Sebron, signing off from Everon Studios.